pay for itself? Does the sanitation department pay for itself? Do roads pay for themselves? No public service pays for itself. It is a public service. Government, citizens through their government, make investments in public services to protect the public and to empower the public. Public transit is the essence of empowerment because it enables people to move about the community. It gives them mobility to access jobs, to access health care, to access entertainment, shopping, to do the things that are required in the daily throes of life without being required to spend the money for an automobile. Now, of course, we can all choose to drive. That's just fine. But when we increasingly create an urban fabric that requires ownership of an automobile, is in effect a tax on every single citizen that would otherwise choose not to use an automobile, or to have one car instead of two cars in a family because one of the workers is able to go to their job via transit versus having to both have an automobile. So this has economic implications, but first and foremost, I believe it's a moral question. It's a question of right and wrong. And it is society, it is government's job to provide mobility infrastructure, transportation infrastructure for citizens. It's how we empower people. It's how we enable people to go about their lives. One aspect of that infrastructure is indeed highway infrastructure. We're real good at that. Very proficient at developing highway infrastructure. We haven't been so good on the public transit infrastructure side of the equation. And today we're going to decide, or the legislature is going to decide, hopefully you'll move them down the path of putting in place a dedicated funding source which will, at least for the foreseeable future, provide a stable financial basis for the Milwaukee County transit system and for possible expansion and improvement of that system that will further empower our citizens so they can go about their business, create wealth, take care of their families, and improve their own quality of life through this type of investment, which is what government does all day long when we talk about quality of life, fire, police, sanitation, parks, boulevards. It's all the same type of public service. This is not a private enterprise. The issue of does it pay for itself should never be spoken unless you're also going to ask that fire and police show a profit or we're going to disband the fire department. Take the message to Madison. A lot of enthusiasm. Let's make sure the legislature gets our message and does the right thing for the citizens of Southeast Wisconsin. Thank you all for coming out.